Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, today with the very interesting Dimir deck that actually has very interesting interactions, and I think the whole deck is really synergistic with itself, and we are using to like full extend the casualty mechanic that is really something that goes along the previous decks from the previous formats when we didn't have new Capena. So I think this really enhances some gameplay styles. So we'll go into the introduction in a moment. We are here for the stats. We have 75% win rate. And honestly, the only game that we didn't win was really awkward draw. And let's be honest, this deck can have awkward draws. You have a lot of we want creatures and we want cards that use creatures. So awkward draws will happen with this deck. But most of the time you can play around it in a way, or you can smooth the curve with some of the cards. So, we will talk about this in a second. But I think this win rate is pretty decent, and it should be telling about the deck. I think it's quite strong deck, and I think it has good synergy that you have this game plan, right? And you know exactly what you are doing, and most of the time you can go through with this deck. And the Meathook Massacre makes it quite easy to kill the enemy in the longer game, so you are not scared about the longer games a bit, because you can finish enemy over time. So that's something really sweet. I don't really like the decks that you need to kill the enemy in first 5 turns or you just fall off completely. With this deck you can, slow roll the skill. So yeah, I think we go into the deck list, so that's the most interesting part, and we are 3-1, and I will not unroll the matchups or the play history, so we will never know which game we won and which one we lost. So yeah, you need to watch the games now. See? That's how we do it on YouTube. Okay, so jokes aside, let's go into the deck list and see what's up. Okay, and now we are in the deck list. So, the big part of the strategy for this deck, so basically we are making small creatures, small tokens and all this stuff. We also have sideboard with a lot of pest summoning, so they are actually really good part of the deck, because you can make 2 tokens with 1 card. And basically, how do we capitalize on the tokens? First of all, and it might not seem like the main idea behind the deck, but let me tell you, Lolth is such a strong card that she actually benefits the most in most of the games, because when you play her and all the tokens in the field, she just gets spiders, and usually you kill the enemy with spiders because they have menace. So this is actually bigger part than you will think from the deck list. But other than this, we have good synergy. We have Plumb the Forbidden. Not only it draws you cards, you lose 1 life, but if you have pests, you gain 1 life, and that's not a problem. But with Meathook Massacre, you can sacrifice your whole board and deal 1 damage per creature, so that's actually a lot of damage. Basically, this destroys your whole board and gives you infinity cards and deals to enemy 5 and 7 or 7 damage, something ridiculous. But Witch is actually the biggest part of this deck, outside of Lolth, I would say. And this is how we try to make creatures. We have Make Disappear, we have Deadly Dispute, we have Infernal Grasp, and also don't forget that you have this interaction between Plumb the Forbidden and Witch, because when you read the card, when you do copy the spell for each creature, so it means it's a separate spell, so it means that the Magecraft, which states this ability triggers when you cast or copy an instant spell. So you get multiple triggers, so that's really sweet. Yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Other than this, you can see the idea, we have exploit cards. Fellstinger, very strong card that gives you more fuel for the longer game, and also Overcharged Amalgam. Really card that not seeing much play, and I think it has potential, especially that it can counter whatever. It's not only spell, but also ability, or the triggered ability. So also ability, and Make Disappear. This is card that I'm definitely trying to use more. This is basically upgraded, man, it's Quench or Quelch? QL, I probably won't say it because it's historic right now. But I just want to know, we are freaking going up to history. Man, it's always alchemy for some freaking reason. I don't know why. Quench. Yes, we will do it. Quench. Okay, so this is basically upgraded Quench. And honestly, I've been playing with Quench so much and I love this card. So not only is it the same like Quench, but it's even better Quench. Yeah, I got lost in the searching. So basically this card is really good and you can see the casualty. The fact that we can, like, usually it's a like bad part of the card that you need to sacrifice a creature, but in this deck it actually can be beneficial because you have very good creatures. You have Shambling Ghast, so basically this can ramp you if enemy doesn't want to kill your Ghast. If enemy has something like Talia and you have 3 open mana, you counter whatever he plays because he needs to pay 4, so he won't. And then you have Shambling Ghast. What more, if you copy this, so casualty means that you copy this spell. It means that if you cast it with Sedgemoor Witch, you actually get 2 triggers for Magecraft. So the deck is full of small synergies and you need to abuse them in order to win. And to be honest, it's actually much easier than I thought. Like this deck kinda plays with itself and it's easy to drive, to be honest. Grisly Sigil. Card that is very interesting. I'm not sure how good it is, but in the games I've played, that was really good card. It was so good that I actually wanted to play more of them. So in this shell, I think it is really working. So basically what this does is deal 1 damage, and then given that something did the non-combat damage, that's an important part, and you will see in one of the videos why. Yeah, you can guess by now. But the second part deals 3 damage, so in total you deal 4 damage and drain 4 life. And you just need to sacrifice 1 creature like Eyetwitch, Shambling Ghast or the Pest. So that's pretty good, and don't forget you can generally cast it on 2 different creatures, but then you deal twice 1 damage. So it depends, but you have some flexibility. It also can attack Planewalker, so if something has 4 loyalty you can pretty much kill it. And the life drain, you will see in one of the games, like, we have so much, like, a side life gain that you will be amazed how much life can we have with this deck, not even trying, because it's not like life gain deck. It's a normal deck that life gains, by the way. But when we stack those 1 triggers from Meathook Massacre, from pests, from witches, from all of this small stuff, suddenly you have so much life, even the Sorin vampires. Like, you will see. Watch the games and yeah, you will see exactly how strong is it. I was surprised myself. So, I think that's the deck. For the rest of the cards, I think you know them and know exactly how to play with them, like all the mono black, Deadly Dispute, Eyetwitch thing. So I don't think it's worth it. Yeah. And for the deck, I think it's sweet. If you have the cards, you probably might craft it and have a lot of fun. I'm not sure about the 4 Sedgemoor Witch. For this deck they are great, but it's not card that you will see in multiple decks. Similar with the Amalgam. Basically you play this in such a deck like this, or like zombies, I guess, or something like this. So, you know, be careful about the crafts, but if you have the cards, definitely try the deck and it should be fine. I had pretty much fun with this one, and probably we will get back to it in some form, sooner or later, because it's an interesting archetype. Okay, so enough of me rambling. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the introduction, and as always, if you like the channel, if you feel that it's worth to help it grow, don't forget to subscribe, watch some videos, and it really does help. And lately we've been pretty exploding, so really thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. And without further ado, let's go into the games, and I hope you will like them. Okay, I have a feeling that with this deck we will have all the good hands early game, because we have so many like early plays, and make this appear. We just need, you know, the second color of our deck and we are set. Okay, Eyetwitch is really good here. That's one of the awkward draws with this deck, so we go for the black one. And of course we don't attack. So very often you will get blue as a 3-drop, because this comes tapped on the second turn. So yeah. Okay, that's a bit scary, but with Meathook Massacre, like, you know what, with Meathook Massacre we are happy. So we are casting Deadly Dispute just because we will reset the board anyway. Do we want the land? I think we want the pests, right? They give us so much time. I guess we got the land, right? In the end we got the land. So let's play this one. And you know what? Like, we could play around it. Okay, let's actually think. We could go for the Eyetwitch, then our enemy doesn't have great attacks, and then we'll make disappear something. Like, whatever he plays, we can counter it, right? What's best? If he has Op Nyxlis, in any case, like he plays the black mana and cast it, I don't think he will. We can even counter both copies with this, which is pretty amazing. Okay, I think we are just hoarding a bit longer. And Eyetwitch is a very good deterrent for the enemy. Like, you don't really want to play into it. Enemy sees that we have something because we don't cast Pest Summoning, one of the issues. Yeah, we definitely counter this one. Enemy cannot pay, so we do it like this. And I guess we get our lesson. I assume he attacks with the Lizard Blades only. What's more interesting, we actually cannot block and just take 2 damage, and that's it. And given we have play for the next turn, I think we are completely fine with this kind of damage. Let's cast the Pest Summoning, but before we do it, we make a stop. Because we have shown the enemy that we have counter spells, and I'm pretty sure that he will try to play around it. Like, maybe not play around it, but at least consider it. And we are having this pause. Okay. Reconfigure is 3, so he cannot pay it right now. And I think we just got more stuff. Oh yes, Meathook Massacre looks much better right now, I would say. Enemy doesn't give a flying about our counter spells, that's not who he is. Oh man, it feels so good. So, do we attack or we just Meathook? I think we attack with the Eyetwitch, right? And then Meathook for 2, enemy is tapped out, so he cannot really do anything. And we don't want to risk them blocking our creatures, so let's do it like this. He can go for the den, but I think it's so slow that we are fine with this. So my friend, let's switch those life totals. I think we will be pretty happy about the triggers. Okay, and that's exactly what we expect. 16 to 23. This is how I feel about this game. We could go for this, for Sorin, but probably Pest Summoning is good enough. Like, this is a good fodder for our stuff. Chandra. And she's dressed to kill. Okay, 1 damage. Acquired. 1 drop. Acquired. 1 damage. Acquired. We are at 21, so we are nearly dead pretty much. Okay, jokes aside, what is the play? We could go for the Pest and then go for the Felstinger, so we have pretty good board for the next turn. I honestly think that's good enough. Also, it sets up the next turn. I think that the Dispute will be better later. We lose the creature, but we'll deal 1 damage, we heal 1 damage, it's okay. And we have very good blocker and attacker for the future turns. And you know, drawing cards is something that I generally enjoy. And let's definitely give it to us. And this is why you really like this additional life. You can see that we have a lot of uses for this, sure. That was the last card for the enemy, and we have 4 of them, including like cards that draw cards. So I'm pretty happy. We just need to get rid of the Chandra. That was a great top deck by the enemy. Probably one of the best in his deck. So we definitely want to trade. Also, this dies perfectly to the Grisly Sigil. And let's get some life. shall we? 19. Man, you can see how much life gain we have, like the incremental side life gain. So I think what we are doing right now... Okay, so we can go for Sorin, make Vampire, then play Shambling Ghast and have Grisly Sigil. Okay, and honestly I think that's good. I think this is what we should be doing, because Lolth is generally more important and it's stronger card. So enemy can cycle the blood, but I don't think he has much more. And Grisly Sigil is very important because we can kill this attacker, and then we can start attacking Chandra from the next turn onwards. Or we can just kill Chandra, depending on how he plays. And he just keeps drawing Stormseekers from the top. Why would you play a card draw if you can just draw your best cards from the top? Enemy really doesn't like Sorin. And you know what? I'm pretty happy about this exchange. Yeah, that's so freaking perfect. You don't even know how perfect it is. Why I did not get... Oh, it's a sorcery. It's a sorcery. Yeah, Sloth, you're a real mythic player right now. A real mythic player. That's a sorcery. It's fine. It's fine. It's all calculated. You might not see the idea behind the wasting of our cards, but there is a great point to it. I just don't know what is the point yet. Okay, so basically, we are casting the Shambling Ghast. Don't worry, we will still win this because the deck is so good that we can misplay it super hard and still be... By the way, we are at 22. I have no idea how, but we are. I think we go for the casualty. We sacrifice this. I don't think we need to minus, so I'm not ordering this stuff. Let's make a treasure. And now we get trigger, 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 trigger. What are we really... this is Grisly Sigil, right? Man, I will just target both. So basically you need 1 in order to deal non-combat damage, and then the second one deals 3. And we are at 27. Man, how ridiculous it is. Enemy is playing like... Look at what enemy is playing. Like basically he has burn plan for our life and we are at 27. If that's not amazing, I don't know what is. Okay, and we have the Witch. Witch? Haha, Witch is amazing. Okay, exile the top if it's red. Yeah, sure, you can burn someone.
This is a fun idea.
Do you want to pay 3 life? Please pay. So first you make him pay. And now we go for the Deadly Dispute. If we sacrifice the Witch, unfortunately we don't get the trigger, I believe, because it's part of the casting cost, so you cast after it is sacrificed. But he won't get Scry because it has no target, so it fizzles. Oh, and he in response sacrificed the blood token in order to show that he also participates in the game. Great. Okay, so basically he will attack or not. Was it the second main phase? I guess it had to be. No reason to not attack. Okay, so we have 4 mana, but we cannot activate double Hive. This one is 7. We could also just sacrifice this. Interesting. Okay, we have some plays. So we definitely want a counter spell, but we also want Lolth. I think, but if we cast Lolth, we have 4 mana left. Yeah, so honestly I think it is the best. We probably attack first, right? No, we cast Lolth because when something dies, she gets the triggers. And we definitely want the triggers.
Exquisite.
I don't think we value this one extra damage so much. Now we get rid of this. We get the Lolth trigger. You can see that this deck has so much going for it. So we could deal 4 damage to Chandra, but I just want to make sure that the board is clear. We are at 33 life. 33 life against aggro deck. So this deck is amazing. I actually didn't think it will go so high, like 33. I don't remember when I had so much life, especially against this kind of deck. Yeah. Do we want to counter it? Not really, right? So enemy dealt 2 damage by his awkward means, but enemy is at 6. So we just attack with double Hive, and I'm pretty sure he's like that. Enemy, like fortunately for him, has very cheap cards. So for this reason, make disappear is not great. But you know what? I'm pretty sure enemy will be quite dead very quickly. And by pretty quickly, I mean right now. And by the way, you can use, sure, whatever. You can make disappear on your creature, so moment he casts anything, you activate the Meathook and you deal damage on top of counter spell. So we are at 31 against his 6. Oh, that's nice. I will still deal 1 damage, but I also kill your creature. That sounds fun. So yeah, that I really believe that was very interesting experience. 31 damage. Yeah, good aggro deck. We are on the draw with heavy counters per hand. This is pretty awful. Like, this is one of the worst hand. Did it change? Now it changed. Okay, that seems like a good start. Wow. That's really interesting. Maybe we just go like this. We don't need double black for now. You know what, I think we are so short on value that we actually need to play like this. Like, double casualty on the draw is just horrible. Man, like, this draw was really bad from the start. But I think we are getting somewhere. Let's hope we don't lose the Shambling Ghast, because right now is our main play, pretty much. You know what, I'm starting to believe. Like, this Ghast gave me hope. Gave me light in my life. I believe that maybe we can untap with it. Oh yes, please. If that's your full turn, I actually can play it this turn. Man, he accelerated us by full turn. Man, this guy is a champ. By the way, if you see like Dimir or Mono Black, that's the last part you are doing. You are really ramping the enemy, especially if someone plays Ghast. It's pretty obvious he has Deadly Dispute in the deck, so you actually really help him. So sure, I'm happy. So do we go for the Plumb? Yeah, I think we do. Because that's like the best mini value that we will get. So really thank you, opponent, for helping us to run. Okay, and now we can... Yeah, now we are doing stuff. Yeah, good. So now we are ready with the counter spell, and we are starting getting to get value. Oh, you wanted to play a card. That's pretty unfortunate. Man, I really start to like make disappear. Like, I've been playing with Quench. I think that's the name, right? Quench. I don't know, the Q thing. It was one of my favorite counter spells, and the fact that this is upgraded version pretty much, like, I need to play with this way more. Okay, what are we really doing? Do we have something in the graveyard? Not really, right? 1 drop, so this one will go as a land. I'm not sure which one. We cannot play Lolth. We probably play Felstinger, right? Yeah, I think that's the play. Especially because we want land. We will draw some cards. Can you believe? Mulligan to 5, and I think actually we are ahead. Slowly but surely. Now we have Meathook Massacre even, and Lolth next turn, and board presence, and we have more lands than the enemy, maybe even. Man, like, enemy did something really well. This Field of Ruin from the enemy, like enemy just helping us all the way. Okay, what do we think about this one? Oh, I have Field of Ruin, but I am not using this one. Okay, that's actually scary. Like the Valkyrie, we can make spiders. First of all, let's do the thing. Maybe he's a dummy and he will block, and if he's not a dummy, that's 3 damage. Meathook Massacre. Like, he won't activate the Valkyrie. I'm not sure what the power level will be. I think for now we need the Lolth. I think we have some time, because basically we can make sure that Valkyrie stays with 4 toughness during our next turn, so we could get rid of the full board, but I think it will be at best like 2 cards, like 1 for 2. Okay, that's fine. So he won't attack because we can trade. Do we attack with everything? Can kill 1 spider, right? And then we deadly dispute it. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And first Stinger trades with something, so let's give him some pain. And he takes it freaking all. Okay, I don't mind it. And I actually want... No. I don't want to use it. Let's tap the hole. And 1 of the swamps. And let's take a swamp. You generally need much more swamps with this deck. Okay, that's good. We're at 18, we have counter spell ready and Deadly Dispute. Yeah, and Deadly Dispute really helps with the Meathook Massacre. Man, I feel that we are winning this game. I don't know how, but we actually are. Yeah, I counter your stuff. Add 1 mana. Spend this mana only to cast an Anger spell. I don't believe countering and paying the mana is Anger spell. No triggers for you, my friend. Do you want to attack? He actually does. Oh man, that's hilarious. Enjoy your 4 damage. Because we will enjoy our more damage. So we could deadly dispute Spider. And then we get more chance to use the hole, but then he blocks with Giada. I honestly don't think that's the play. Okay, we don't attack with 1 of the spiders because we want to protect Lolth. And he can have 2 attackers and 3 if he activates this stuff. And he trades with this. Very good, very good. There is a chance that we kill him with Meathook Massacre. Like spiders against this kind of deck, like he's not activating the Valkyrie anytime soon. And we can, with Menace, we can really go hard on him. That's a good card. That's a good draw. So, we go with the hole and attack with everything? I honestly think we do. So then he can double block 1 of the spiders, or sacrifice the Valkyrie. Like, bro, we are freaking doing this. He's forced to really try it with our stuff. Like, you can see how extremely aggressive spiders are. Can you believe this is the game when we mulligan to 5 against enemy, like having, I think, even 8 cards? Man, he messed up with this Field of Ruin. Nice. And let's draw a card. I heard it's good. That's a very good draw. So right now enemy wants to attack and kill Lolth, but he needs to think about, you know, not dying. What was this card? I guess he gets Giada, right? Up to 2 creature cards, yeah, he gets Giada. And he has 10 life. And that was one of the best cards that he could have. but I think we still win this.
I am merely delayed.
So we go in for 6. Okay, look at this. I'm pretty sure we have this. Yeah, so we attack for 8. We kill this one. Or you know what? Giada. Because she has vigilance and all the nasty stuff. I will smoke you. Because we have menace. And you don't seem to have blockers, my friend. And now let's go for the sweet Meathook to show some dominance. We actually won this game. Man, this deck is so strong. And enemy just got wrecked. Honestly, like, he misplayed it so hard. I think we might not win this, or not as easily if he didn't Field of Ruin us. When you do Field of Ruin, you actually need to think about this 1 mana. I've been playing with this card so much, and against decks that have instants on the curve like that you will provide, you really need to think about it twice, because that might happen. Oh man, on the draw, I don't like this hand at all. I will mulligan this one, and I will keep this one. Okay, so we have very good mana. Like, the obvious choice will be Eyetwitch. And you know what? Let's go with the obvious choice. I'm not exactly loving it, because Eyetwitch is very good value, but let's do it. And we might even start destroying some lands. We definitely can kill the Raffine Tower to make his mana way worse. Oh man, it might be Esper mono white. Okay, and it isn't. So, we will see. We will see. That's overall interesting. And the triggers were much too fast. So let's pretend that we have Deadly Dispute. Because maybe then the enemy won't attack, thinking that he's smart because we will Deadly Dispute anyway. And that would save us 3 life. And I don't think we want to even block, because we want to use First Stinger most likely. Maybe the Witch, but we don't have instants. We might get one from the Eyetwitch, I guess. And we make full bluff play. Okay, do we do it? We don't really have great play for the next turn. Like, we have a lot of 3 drops, but nothing amazing. I think we go for the First Stinger, so it means that we want something to sacrifice. Okay, by the way, now he knows that we have no Deadly Dispute, because we would never make this play otherwise. Okay, interesting. And we have Deadly Dispute. What the hell, man? What the hell? We could go for the Witch. But then we get so much damage. I really don't want to get so much damage. But still, we need to make those tokens somehow. It's painful, but I hope we can live Giant back into this game. Right, doggy? The first lazy pet of Arena. 1 animation. What could go wrong, right? They will buy it still. Okay, Salt away. This one is a bit sweeter. So enemy is having very good situation, because he's applying 6 damage a turn. That's a lot of pressure. And we are pretty slow and on the draw. Like, our hand is definitely not explosive. Deadly Dispute might change it, depending on what we draw. Like, if we draw some 1 mana removals, we are in a good spot again. Meathook? Meathook is also something important, like, interesting. Okay. Definitely not what we love. Nice sleeves. I didn't see those ones. Oh man, I don't have great feeling, especially after Raffine. Like, Raffine with this 4 toughness, and like, we can deal 4 damage, but we need to pay 3 mana in total in the best case. So man, that's still super expensive. Like, this Grim or Grisly something, 1 mana deal 4 damage is yeah, something we probably want to draw right now. Okay, and he only buffed it once. Do we really get 7 damage? I think we have to, right? Oh man, my heart bleeds. Okay, that's actually way better. So we can make a lot of stuff, right? Okay, so we are not attacking with the witch, maybe that's a mistake, but I think we are on the defense, so it super doesn't matter, so I don't really want to think about it too much, so we don't make turns longer than they already are, because I know I'm not the fastest player, but I like to overthink. That's how I play. It's fine. Okay, let's see. It's for Raffine, so maybe that's why we need the blocker. We see how much he pumps it, because we are at 10, so we need to be careful about our HP. And we cast one Deadly Dispute. I think the second one might be of Treasure. We will see. The Raffine will be such a problem. Like, we don't have easy way to deal so much damage. And Meathook Massacre is definitely not something. Yeah, he went really ham. I think we get one and see what's up. Like, we need to start doing stuff. And we will get the pest to block the underdog, so it's nearly like the same damage mitigation. And I hope that we draw something cool. Do we go for the necrotic fumes? You know what? I think we do. Like, Raffine is such a pain here. We could just get rid of both underdogs, but it doesn't seem to be the perfect play, to be honest. So, do we go for Deadly Dispute from the pest? Yeah, I think we do. So, we block like this. We take 7? Do we really take 7? Do we really take 7? I think we need to do it like this. So, for this reason, we might as well do it like this. So those are the blocks, right? And we also ramp a bit, so it might prove useful at some point. We sacrifice the pest, because it won't kill the underdog, and also we get another pest, which is pretty sweet. We also gain one more life in the end. And the witch might trade with the underdog, unless he does something. Man, witch is such a sweet card overall. We need to draw into our removal. Like, at least we have fumes, but that's not exactly what you want. At least we have Shambling Ghast that is super cheap. Yeah, like, we need to think about those terms, so they are good. And I mean, is it 4 mana only? We didn't even have time to filter through in them. Huh. Yeah, I will do it. So we don't need to casualty, we can just get rid of it. I think it's worth it. It's 2 mana for 4 mana, and we get rid of all the angels, which is really good. On the negative side, we don't have easy choice here. We can take, I guess, one more hit. Because now we cannot play the necrotic fumes unless we do it and play the gas. You know what? That seems like an optimal play overall. Let's get rid of Raffine. Oh, yeah, we can. It's fine. So we exile, we don't get life gain. Yes, we will play the war. Man, Raffine was such a pain this game. That was pretty much the only problem. Now we get a lot of hits, so we still have very bad situation. I'm not sure if we can, like, come out from this. Our slow start was too slow, and we don't really have too much life gain, so we were on the back foot, and we didn't get the full value from the witch, because the pressure was so high that we actually needed to sacrifice our value just to mitigate some of the damage. I like the play with the Anger. I think that was pretty sweet. Like, we defeated like 16 mana of value with 2 mana spell, so that's quite good. I really want this Grisly Sigil or whatever it's called. Like with the Witch and Shambling Ghast you can do so much. Okay, very interesting play. I will preserve my life. So basically he did it so we cannot -1, but we will see if it really matters. Like, now we have some options. So let's go with the correct ordering, and the correct ordering is like this. We also get one more treasure. We draw, we kill ourselves, we make a treasure. Okay, and those are the cards that we wanted since a long time. This has Death Touch, so it can trade with the underdog always. I think we go with the Sorin, because right now enemy has only 4 mana, that's not enough. He can play the underdog, but then he has 2 creatures and we can protect our Sorin and make another vampire, and then we can go for Lolth and stuff. So in the end it looks okay. Don't forget, vampire heals for 1 because it deals 1 less damage, so the shield will be a pain for the rest of the game, but on the bright side it really gave us a lot of tempo, like advantage. And with Death Touch it won't really super matter with the underdog. I think we don't mind killing the second one, because for this one he needs to basically lose the full turn in order to play it. And yeah, if he doesn't have anyone in, any of the underdogs in the game, it makes it really awkward, because either he has no board or he needs to spend full mana to deal 3 damage, and that's not where you want to be. Okay, so Aspirant, right? So do you know how Death Touch work? I'm not sure if he knows. Unless he has some trick. Maybe it's Raffine, but Raffine also doesn't change anything. Like, what is it? Is it Charm? It might be a Charm. It's 3 mana, destroy FL Stinger, pretty much. But we'll see what the decision is. Like, I think he has something, right? Otherwise this has no sense. Unless he really thinks... Like, I think he might have forgotten the shield. So then he wants to force the trade with the Stinger. Okay, so he had the removal. That's easy choice. If you lose the Sorin, you cannot make the vampire. And yeah, like, why not make the vampire if you can? And with Lolth, I think we want to go for the Sorin sacrifice. So we make the stuff, and don't forget this is something we cannot use because of the ward. So you need to pay additional 1. Man, by the way, with Raffine it's such a pain. It's worth 2, 6, 7 mana, and you have a worth 2 creature. Insane, broken, crazy. Nerf, please. Yeah. Yeah, so this will be hard game. Man, this game feels awkward. Like, we have a lot of cards that we really help during this game, but we just don't draw them. Whenever you or another permanent you control becomes the target, counter it unless it's base 1. So we don't really have a choice, right? Enemy might go for the kill, but we have Reachers. Like, we can even triple block this, and he can kill only 2 spiders. And then we have the counters on the Lolth back. So I think the next turn play will be the Witch and Infernal Grasp. Okay. Interesting. Interesting, and I think it's correct. I think it is correct. That's smart play, because we cannot kill the cave right now. I think we kill the cave with the grasp. So it means we block like this. Yeah, and they kill perfectly, but at least the tenacious underdog is in the graveyard. right? So, no, we deal 2 damage because of the shield. So actually there's no sense to do it. So we might do it as well, like this. So sure, let's do it. Like this shield is a pain, not gonna lie. But we got the triggers, we have a lot of mana. Do we make a token? So if he activates the cave, then we Field of Ruin it. So he probably won't. So Field of Ruin destroys the cave. Infernal Grasp destroys the either Aspirant or the Underdog. We will see where the counter goes. Yeah, and we have perfect mana for all of this. So that was a bit of mistake. 1 damage. Hurts. Do we attack? I don't think we do. We want to protect Lolth, and Lolth is really good with losing creatures. So we want something that we can lose. And also remember, it's lifelink for 1 damage. So not really much. You gain much more life by blocking. Like, because then you get the lifelink and also block like 3 and 4 damage or something like this. So I think the counter goes to Aspirant. So he can attack with it a bit. Sure. Blitz. You are blitzing us. So we Infernal Grasp probably 1 creature. Okay, so that makes it quite easy choice, I think. So let's see the attack first. Like, he sees that we have stuff. We definitely have stuff. Enemy has only 2 mana open. So I think, first of all, let's get rid of this one. I want to make the token. I will pay the ward. We could do it in different way, so we get rid of the cave this turn, but whenever he activates the cave, you get mana advantage, so he won't, as long as you leave 3 mana open. So yeah, that wasn't the turn, and we are mana flooded pretty much. I don't think he should leave the game, like, it wasn't so far away, but yeah, he wouldn't kill Lolth, so that's not a great spot to be in.